Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 24 of our Brittany playthrough. Now, last episode I was deliberating whether to declare war on Munster and thus drag England into the war, and I don't think I'm going to, for a while at least. I'm going to make sure that I do not have any rebel chances. As you can see here, there is a very, very high chance. All of those added together, it is very, very high, and that worries me. Lots of numbers on a screen with red worries me. What we can do at the moment is we can boost stability, and that will take out a lot. That will take out a lot of the rebellion risk. Now, Ulster really do not like me, and I think that is, we're going to use harsh treatment. Actually, I think that is mostly because of religion, but also the fact that I took them over, and we are from Brittany, and the Irish, although they're related, I think in sort of on a Celtic level or something, I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about, but they are quite far removed. They are hardly close cousins like the French and the Breton, so things can get a bit heated between the two. Now, another cause of rather major rebellion risk is religion, and at the moment in 1515 there are two main religions in Europe. There is Catholicism and there is Protestantism. Now, Protestantism has just come into the light. There are many countries, Sweden and Denmark and Bohemia, who are converting to Protestantism, and I think we may do the same. So, I didn't even think about it. I did it very quickly, just so I didn't change my mind. I was set on it. I have converted to Protestantism, and now we have 10% national tax modifier, and our ideas cost 10% less. And these modifiers are extremely useful, and I'm not quite sure why anyone would choose to be Catholic. Very strange to me. So, we at the moment cannot convert any provinces to Protestantism with any degree of success. 166 months is a horrendously long time. So, if we, for instance, became Defender of the Faith, we would get another missionary to start off with. There are decisions to be made, and they are very, very hard. So provincial tax income is the main reason why we cannot convert Maine, for instance. And to be honest, I don't really understand this, but I will think about it. Right, so we can pass the Dissolution of the Monasteries Act, very King Henry VIII-esque, and I think we're going to do this. Actually, we get more tax, but stability costs more to increase. I'm not too worried about the 5% stability increase cost. Now, we do want to get our stability up to 0. That is a given at most points in the game. You never want negative stability, so we paid for that. I'm willing to pay the hundreds of admin points for the increase in stability, because it is so worth it, just so that you don't have to deal with all, and I mean a lot, of rebels. So we're going to build lots and lots of regiments in our French provinces, and this means if there are any religious uprisings on the continent, we can deal with them rather efficiently, I should think. Wessex is now a core. They do have the English culture, unfortunately. So the English is in red because it is not an accepted culture in Brittany at all, in any way, shape or form. But Irish, as I said, Irish culture is in the same culture group, Celtic, as the primary culture in Brittany. So they hate us, but they hate us a little bit less than the English do. We're just going to have to wait again. Now, looking over at our first colony, Guantanamo, we can, by moving this army into here, into the Nipigon province, we can colonize it. And they only have 400 natives, so I'm not too worried about the military risks, which I would be if there was, say, thousands of natives. But up in the north, there tends to be less people not wanting to be colonized. I'm not quite sure why that is. Austria, you can have military access. We want to be, not best buddies, but we want to have very, very good relations with Austria, just because they are extremely, extremely influential in Europe. They are, I'll see if they are at the moment actually, yes, they are the Holy Roman Empire, and this is a very common occurrence. Austria, there's something about them which means they just get favoured, I'm not quite sure why. Now, heretic subjugation. Our country's harsh subjugation of heretics hasn't brought the expected results. Instead of restoring order and bringing our nation under one religious faith, our actions have further agitated the population, leading to increased violence and acts of cruelty. Now, there are three options. We can increase the funding to suppress the heretics, or we can ignore them, or we can give concessions. Now, I think we give concessions because the others involve massive amounts of pointy, sword-wielding religious fanatics rising up, and that is less than desirable, really. So we chose give concessions, and that for a short amount of time gives some quite major modifiers to our nation's economy and revolt risk and things. Now we have a disagreeing advisor. We can choose to kill him, basically, off with his head, or we could lean into his way of thinking, and we're going to do that because we gained diplomatic power, 25 to be exact. Now, with all these regiments, we're going to consolidate them into Maine, because it's, again, a centralising muster point. English patriots have risen up in Gloucestershire. Now, with this army, which I very, very well done to me for leaving them in England, we're going to actually build another 2 regiments, just to make sure that we don't lose. But this then 12,000 man strong army will take out these English patriots, and hopefully that will be the last revolt in England. I should think it will be. And we can always use harsh military treatment if things don't really go to plan. Now, we have our first native colonization event. Natives encountering our colonies, we could repel them, we could present a trade proposal, or we could allow them to live in peace. Now, by repelling the savages, we gain a large population in Nipigon, which is this colony here, our only one at the moment. The natives also lose size, but it means that we will treat the natives ruthlessly from now on. So that will increase the frequency of their raids, but it will mean that our colony grows faster. By presenting a trade proposal, we lose lots and lots of money, but we gain base tax. And, to be honest, in the long run, we really want base tax. And all of these other options only give short-term benefits, so we're going to take the middle one. There are 400 natives left over, as you can see there, so with this army, I am going to use this attack natives for military power. Now surely they will have none left, so there will be no more native uprisings. Very, very useful, of course. Now this regiment's nearly done, everything is working out pretty well for us, I think. We'll move everyone into Wessex, just so that everyone's in one place. And then, although the rebels have taken control of Gloucestershire, that's not too much of a problem. It will take a long time before they can actually enforce their demands. We'll wait until the end of October just so that we get full morale completely, and then we will attack. And we actually, for heaven's sake, I'm not even sure how that happened. Okay, so we lost, apparently. I'm not quite sure why we lost, I'm not quite sure how we lost, but we lost, okay? How very, very, very tiresome. Now, I think it would be because their general is very good, Henry Somerset of the First Freedom Fighters. We're just going to have to wait, because I think we recuperate men faster than rebels. I think. That is only a thought. We're actually going to hire some mercenaries, I've decided, just as a quick fix, and then hopefully we'll overwhelm the rebels and then liberate Gloucestershire, and everything will be absolutely fine. There'll be no revolt risk throughout the whole kingdom, and things will be quite stable. It's only a dream, unfortunately. Alright, move everyone into Wessex for the second time. Merge them, 11,000 men. Wait until the end of February, and then they're attacking us for some reason. And that was their downfall, so we won that. Very, very strange. We're going to chase them into Gloucestershire and beat them to a pulp like that, and then we'll liberate Gloucestershire. Everything should be fine. We are, though, going to... How do you do this? There was a way to do this. Here we are. All mercenaries from this unit will be detached and form a separate unit. So, that separate unit we are going to disband. And that's because mercenaries just cost a huge amount of money, and I cannot be doing with it at the moment. Now, with this 12,000 strong regiment, we're going to move it into Finisterre with a general, and we really should hire a general. Not too bad, just an average general. Now this will hopefully mop up this particular rebel problem, which it seems to be doing. Indeed it did. And then we'll liberate Finisterre, and again everything will be fine. No fracture in the nation. Oh, for heaven's sake. So, more rebels. I'm done. I give up, I think, to be honest. Now it looks like the only solution to this particular problem... Oh, guys, look at this. 16 regiments rises, for heaven's sake. Right, so, there are now 16,000 rebels in Poitou. Inconvenient is rather an understatement, I would say. Oh, for heaven's sake. We're going to hire a theologian, this guy, just to reduce revolt risk. I forgot about him. Also, that means we can pass the Advancement of Religion Act, which gives revolt risk but gives more missionary strength. So, as soon as we've taken down this army, we will pass that decision, and then it means we will probably... I'm not quite sure how efficient the process will be, but we will definitely be able to convert a few provinces to Protestantism, which is our main aim in the short term. Now, we don't want to take this idea. We need to hoard our diplomatic power for a while, I think. Revolt's possible. Oh, this sucks so much. So we're actually going to spend military power in using harsh treatment, because I really cannot be doing with things like this. We're gonna harsh treatment in Cal because that has the most revolt risk. I think things should be not stable exactly, but they shouldn't be too scary for a while. I think it would be nice if that Burgundy army could come and mop up our rebel problem, but unfortunately it seems it's not going to. Oh, this is very aggravating. It will all be worth it though, when all of our nation is Protestant. I say that, but I'm really not sure it's going to happen now that things have gone this badly wrong. This is a very hard situation to be in. Now, what do these guys actually want? No, not you guys. What do these guys actually want? The English patriots. They want to defect to England. I think we may just let them, to be honest. I think we may let England have their Gloucestershire province back. It seems like the least confrontational thing to do. So I think we're just going to let time go on, and we'll let the rebels, think they're doing a good job. Well done, rebels. But we'll let them defect back to England. Gloucestershire is an okay province. I don't really want to lose it, but it seems I'm going to have to. Just for the sake of solidity in the realm. Now, there is actually a revolt risk in Guantanamo, and I really think that I should spend military power to take it down, because I'm going to boost stability as well, because we only have 2,000 men in the land of our colonies, so I don't think that would go down too well. If a 16,000 man revolt sprung up, we would have no chance. I want to see if there are any provinces that we can convert at the moment. We can only convert Finisterre, and that is an absolute pain in the ass, because that's going to take 1,111 months. I'm not quite sure that's worth it. I don't know about you. Right, now we're going to take Finisterre back very soon, and then hopefully, for heaven's sake. So they're basically going to enforce their demands very quickly. There's not much I can do, but in the meantime we're going to wait until this army, the Army de Lion, which I'm guessing is the Army of the Lion. Very linguistic, I know. We'll wait until we can bolster that with more troops, and then we can attack this Poitou regiment of Catholic zealots. We can gain stability, or we can gain the skill 2 artist in Loire. Now, as he is a skill 2 artist, we do not want him. They cost a horrendous amount at this stage in the game. So we're just going to gain the 1 free stability, which is very nice actually. Now this army has 12,000 men and 4,000 horsemen, so we really need some horsemen to help us out. We have won the siege of Finisterre, brilliant. You guys are moving to Maine, please, and then we'll do our best to increase the size of your force. I think we may... Right, so we're going to build one lot of normal men, but we're also going to have to hire some regiments, just because we don't have the manpower to do anything else. So we'll hire quite a substantial amount and hope that things go our way. So we've lost control of Poitou. I'm not too worried about it again, as obviously this whole force is mustering very quickly, it seems. We will have about 8,000 when this regiment is recruited. A very, very nice number to have indeed. I'm very, very glad I did not declare war on England, as that would have turned out absolutely awfully. I can see that. We'll wait until this is at full morale. Naval supplies will now be produced. So we've got to that stage in colonising, where it's telling us that, you know, what trade good the province is going to supply. Get back here. Come on. Right. We're going to attack now, I think. And there is going to be a rivet in the way, I think. But there's not much we can do about that. We have... Oh, that was very, very close. We have won that. So we're going to go and liberate Poitou while we're at it. We will, though, take out these mercenaries, as they do just cost a huge amount of money to maintain, and it really is not worth it. The Bible has been translated. A priest in Bristol... Bristol, that's not very... Well, I mean, you don't think that is a holy site for the Christian faith, do you? A priest in Bristol has translated the Bible into our language. O Lord, we are in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and has started to distribute copies of it to nearby villages through Gloucestershire. Heresy. Everyone will love us. Or great news. Spread these Bibles far and wide. Heresy, because we're going to lose Gloucestershire anyway, so I'm not sure it's worth converting to Protestant faith, really. Although it would screw things up for England. Interesting. I should have thought about that, really. But we can now take some decisions. We can introduce church taxes, which will mean national revolt risk +1. I'm really not liking that. Or we can choose superintendents. I think we go for superintendents. We do not like national revolt risk. It sucks a lot. And then we can maybe think about other things on the way. Now the other decision that we can see here is pass Advancement of Religion Act, and that means that we'd get 1 national revolt risk, which we've just kind of countered with our last decision, but it would also mean that our missionaries get +1 strength, and that is exceedingly useful. So I think we're going to take that now, and then see if we can convert some provinces to Protestantism. So Finisterre, really, kind of, that is the best one to pick for sure, because that is by far the shortest amount of time to convert. Still a long time, still 5 years, but I think it will be worth it. Revolt risks, there's none that would really scupper our plans. So I'm going to end the episode there. I am so glad I did not declare war on England. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.